Hi, I'm Peter Chand and I am your virtual MC for Virtual Fate. Welcome. So there's a whole weekend of fantastic stories and music waiting for you. But of course, a little bit of housekeeping before we start. So make sure you've got your virtual wristband to show the virtual stewards, without whom, of course, we wouldn't have a festival at all. As regards mobile phones, of course, make sure you keep your mobile phones on so you get notifications when a new film of a storyteller or a musician has landed on our Facebook group. So have a fantastic weekend and enjoy the stories, and welcome to Virtual Fate.
My name is Shonaleigh. I'm a Jewish storyteller based in England, and this is my story for Virtual Fate. I've chosen this story because this is the first story that I told at Fate 25 years ago. You might even know it, and if you do, you can tell along with me if you want. And it goes like this. In the city of Vilna, there was a poor Jewish peasant and his wife. And they had the last piece of bread and butter. There was nothing else in the house. And, well, I don't know if you know this, but it is an irrefutable law of God that should a piece of bread and butter fall to the ground, it will always fall butter side down. It's just a law of God. Some people will tell you it's a law of physics. If you built the table a little higher, it might do one more flip, but no, it's a law of God. And so this little peasant and his wife, they have the last piece of bread and butter. And he's raising it to his lips. And we will never know what frightened him, what scared him, what caused him to drop that piece of bread and butter, but something did. And he dropped it and it tumbled to the ground, and it fell. And you guessed it, it fell butter side up. He said, "This goes against every law of God I've ever learned. Wife, come and look at this." She went, "Oh, possessed bread and butter." He said, "You must go to the rabbi." She said, "He'll never believe me, I'm a woman." He said, "Then I'll go to the rabbi." She said, "You're not leaving me alone with this piece of possessed bread and butter. I'm coming with you." So they both go to the rabbi. The rabbi of the little village is called, and he can't explain it. This is beyond his remit. And so he calls the chief rabbi. The chief rabbi brings a whole Beth Dinner council, a rabbinical council with him, and they look and they stroke their chins and they curl their players and they look. They cannot explain it, but it must be explained. So they say that they will return in a month with the answer, and each leaves. Now, the story doesn't actually say what happens to the piece of bread and butter, but I think they probably put a little piece of string round it and avoid it every time they walk round the room. Now you know what human nature is. Some people begin to talk about the virtues of a possessed piece of bread and butter. Some people talk about how it is a terrible thing that this has happened. Some people say, when the rabbis come back, such wisdom we will learn from what they have to say. And other people turn around and say, "Oh, well, I wonder how they're going to get out of this one." Because there is always a difference of opinion. But a month later, the rabbis come back. Everybody gathers in the town square. They cannot wait to hear the answer. Whatever group they belong to, they're all standing there waiting and watching and listening. And there's the peasant, and there's his wife, and there's the little rabbi, and the chief rabbi steps forward and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it is a well-known fact that should a piece of bread and butter fall to the ground, it will always fall butter side down. But this piece of bread and butter fell butter side up." There was a gasp. They already knew, but, theatrical bunch. How was he going to explain it? And then, benevolently, he put his hand on his heart and he said, "This is an unbreakable law, and indeed to this day has not been broken. But the peasant, being a poor and ignorant man, buttered the wrong side." Thank you.